Yeah, look at that.
What you're going to first need is some fresh spinach. You can either go down to Coles. Today we've chosen to come into the greenhouse so that we can make these spinach patties or Aussie arancinis right from home. So what you want to do is you want to grab some nice big leaves like this and then fill up your bowl. Now when I make spinach patties, guys, I need a lot of ingredients because I got a big family and my kids like to eat a lot. So everything in this recipe, you'll probably need to double if you're a family of 6. If not, just make it as per the description down below. Next on the list is fresh tomatoes. So I've got heaps of tomato plants in here. At the moment, they're only producing small numbers of fruit, but I think I might be able to find 2 that we can use in this one. And 2. So in this quick recipe, we're going to use canned tomatoes. It's a lot easier, guys. You can either parboiled fresh tomatoes, slice them, skin them, and then dice them up. Or if you're time poor, you can just grab 2 cans like I have, chuck them in the mix. All right, and now it's time to add the rice. In this recipe, I'm going to be using 6 cups of plain white rice. I use the white rice mainly because it's just something that the kids enjoy, Amanda loves. You can use whatever rice you like actually, but we just like the white rice. It's a medium grain. That's 4 cups, only 2 cups to go. Alright, there's 6 cups of white rice, and that's almost 1 kilo of this pack that we've used, I'd say. Now we're going to take it inside, I'm going to wash the rice, and we're going to keep washing it until those juices run clear, because we want to make sure we get all the starches and everything that's coated on the rice off them, so that when we cook it, it doesn't become gluggy at the end. Now you want to strain off all the excess water, and then whack it in your pan. Alright, once the rice has been washed, rinsed, strained and chucked into your pan, now you want to grab some chicken stock. We're using this chicken stock today, we're using Campbell's chicken stock. You can use any chicken stock, you can use even chicken bone broth. All it's going to be used for is to add to the rice to cook it. So we're going to use 1.5 cups of chicken stock per 1 cup of rice that we put in there. So we put in 6 cups of rice, we're now going to use 9 cups of chicken stock. Now to get an even more chicken taste out of your rice, I like to add some chicken stock with it as well. So I'll add 1 tablespoon of chicken stock to this mixture and then whisk it in. I found if I don't put enough chicken stock in there, or if I don't make it really chicken flavoured, the kids don't like it as much, and nor does Amanda. You can also get salt reduced chicken stock if you like. Alright, now that's going to go on top of the stove. We're going to bring it up to the boil and we're going to cook it for about 15 minutes with the lid on once it comes to the boil. It's called the parboiling method. We're going to get the rest of our vegetables ready to go. So we'll start with the spinach. I'm going to start by cutting off all these stems because we're just not going to need them. They don't actually taste that nice, the stems, so we'll get rid of all of them. And the spinach was also washed, guys. Made sure that we give it a good wash after we took it out of the garden. Alright, now once we've de-stemmed everything, it's time to get out your favourite knife and dice it up into smaller pieces. So we'll do that now. And you just basically, guys, want to cut it into some rough chopped pieces. It doesn't have to be too fine, just like that. Alright, now all the spinach has been finely chopped. This is where we go into cheat mode. And my mum taught me this recipe when I was a lot younger. She used to tell me that I used to have to parboil 4 tomatoes, skin them, peel them, dice them, slice them, and you know what? That's the right way to do it. But I had to improve on timing with my kids, so I've chose to put away the knife and pick up the can. So I'm going to be putting in 2 tins of diced tomatoes to the spinach, only because it's fast, it's easy, and it tastes bloody nice. So hasn't really affected the taste at all, to be honest. So put those 2 tins in there, like so. Now I'm going to add some garlic. We're going to add roughly 4 cloves of fresh garlic. Our garlic hasn't quite grown yet. It's under those tomatoes in there somewhere, but once they do, we'll be using that in the recipes. So each clove, lay it down, give it a hit, take the skin off like that, and then we'll put that through the crusher like this. Strain it all out, get everything out of it, and we'll keep repeating that into the bowl. Because if you like this knife that I'm using, I'll tell you what, it's a fantastic knife. I'll leave a link in the description to the channel. It's a Sam the Cooking Guy knife. I bought this knife, actually I didn't buy it. Amanda bought this knife for me for Christmas present, and I can tell you, I use it all the time. The only thing I've done to this knife is had to sharpen it. And sometimes, I'm not real good on sharpening, so I actually bought one of those machines that you pull through to keep it sharp, and it's been able to keep it sharp. And it's just the quality and the feel of this knife is fantastic. So if you want a good knife, guys, to use at home, Sam the Cooking Guy. Even comes with a little symbol of his channel on the bottom there, and a nice engraved section on there as well. Hopefully that came into focus. Alright, so while the rice is resting inside now, we're going to steam off these vegetables like I said. So I've turned on my little barbecue, fired it up. Just going to let some heat get through there. Hopefully this wind doesn't keep blowing the flame down. And like all good things, I like to add a little bit of butter. I think that everything tastes nicer with butter. I don't know about you, but I think it's the saltiness just gives it that extra flavour that we're looking for. So we'll get that cooking through, and you want to cover that and let the natural juices steam and reduce that spinach down. I'll tell you what, guys, if you were here, if you could just smell it, if you could smell the garlic coming out, the tomato and everything coming out of the pot, you'd just be in love like I am at the moment. It smells fantastic. Wow. Alright, that's been cooking now for about 5 minutes. That's reduced down perfect. The rice is now ready to go, so we're going to combine the 2 of them and start mixing in that cheese. Alright, now we've got all the spinach and the tomato all cooked. The rice is cooked. It's now time to mix. So you want to grab yourself a nice pair of little latex gloves. Try and get some to fit you. These are a little bit tight. You're going to want a big bowl. You're going to want a really big dish for this because you need a little bit of room when you're mixing it around, or else you seem to throw it everywhere. Well, maybe you won't, but I did. So here we go. I'm using 4 cheeses melt cheese. It's an Italian cheese. You can go with a standard tasty cheese. You can go with any type of cheese you like. We're also going to be adding a little bit of mozzarella to some of these arancini spinach patty balls a bit further on. So we'll cut that. We'll get it ready. We're going to get these mixes ready and we're going to blend together. So first we add the hot rice. Next in goes the cheese. And I just use the whole packet. Find that everything tastes better with cheese. So we're going to add the whole packet in there. We're just going to stir that through, or knead it through with our hands. It's actually really hot. I'm going to make a little spot down the side here though while I'm doing it, and that's where I'm going to put in the spinach and tomatoes and garlic now. So we'll grab our nice base, pour that across, get all that inside there. Oh. Once again, I'm going to say, if you could smell it, tastes absolutely, smells absolutely amazing. I'm going to stir all this through. You can see that the cheese is starting to melt now and be nice and sticky on the end of that. Alright, so that's all mixed through now, and as you can see, the cheese is melted in, the tomato juice has gone through, and it's been absorbed by the rice. That looks perfect. But now comes the time for patience. What we've got to do is we've got to put this in the fridge or freezer. You can chuck it in the freezer for about half an hour. You can put it in the fridge for 2 hours. We're going to let all that cool right down again, because our next stage is shallow frying or deep frying them in breadcrumbs. I'll go pop that in the fridge. I'll be back soon. All right guys, so now it comes down to the breadcrumbing. I'm going to take 4 to 6 eggs, give them a good old whisk, and get it ready to dunk those spinach patties in. While I'm doing this, have any of you ever made an arancini ball before? When we were younger, like a month ago, actually probably a few months ago when restaurants were open, we'd go and order them and we'd call them aranchi balls. Just goes to show how well travelled we are. So these are the Aussie aranchi balls, and we put a little bit of a twist on it by adding in some spinach. I know you can add some bacon, you can add lots of things to it really. You can add a chorizo, you can make it from a risotto. If you haven't got, if you don't want to make the rice the way we did, you can always make it from a risotto, leftovers. Really quite easy. And I guarantee you this, your kids are going to love them, everyone's going to love them. The first time someone tries one, they just say, that's it, can I have another one? Alright, that's all whisk, that's ready to go. Let's start getting the mixture out of the fridge now. So our mixture has been in the fridge for probably about 35 minutes, guys. Haven't had enough time to let it get to a perfect cool temperature, but we're going to give it a go anyway. So if you're one of those people that are a little bit OCD, grab yourself a half a cup measurer, and you can use that to scoop it out to make sure that all your little balls are the same size and no one has a big one. So take half a scoop, looks like that. Chuck that into your hand, get it out of there, put the scoop back, use these gloves, roll them into a ball, perfect, that's one done. I'm going to make 6 now, I'm going to show you how to do it, the easy and simple way. Having 4 kids, you punch through about 24 of them pretty quick. That's why it cost me an absolute fortune to feed this tribe. So there we have it. 6 are done. Now, to bring out the Italian side of the aranchi balls, we're going to add this little duck here. It's a little bit of mozzarella. I'm going to put that inside so that when you crack it open, there's going to be an even bigger cheese explosion in your mouth. I mean, who doesn't love that? That's just going to be absolutely perfect. I can tell you guys these are fiddly, but the other thing I can tell you is they're well worth it. We're using Crummy's breadcrumbs in this one. We've partnered with Tip Top. Tip Top aren't sure of it though, they're not aware of it. As you can tell guys, look at the conditions we're under here. The wind is absolutely flogging through. I might have to place down my trusty wind holder once again. I might use the egg mixture on this side actually, might be easier. I can't quite tuck that under there, but that's alright. We only need to do one to show you. You want a dry hand, you want a wet hand. I'm going to use the right hand as the wet hand. Wet hand's going to go into the egg, turn it. Pretty simple really, huh? Going to let it run and drip off. Then we're going to place it in the crumbs. Dry hand gets it, sprinkles it over. Gets it really crumbed up. Gets it absolutely everywhere. You'll notice that wind is still blowing it. And there you have it, one done. I'll do the rest of them and then we'll come back to cook them. I don't know about you guys, but the very next one I did, I forgot which one my dry hand was and which one my wet hand. Now I've got 2 wet hands. Alright guys, there's our 6 done. Now it's time to cook. So we're going to be using some canola oil in this one. You can use a vegetable oil, you can use canola oil, you can use a sunflower, sun brand, olive brand, peanut butter. It doesn't matter what oil you use, but use an oil with a high smoke point because we really need to get the temperature right up when we're cooking. Now you're going to want to use about 1.5 litres of oil. Pour that in. I've had to bring out the big dogging barbecues in this one because the wind's so bad. I actually don't think the other one would have ever got the oil up to temperature. Alright, so there you have it. 1.5 odd litres of oil. Alright guys, this is the bit where it gets technical now. If you don't have one of these, this is a ThermoPro TP20. If you don't have one of them, if you've got a little stick thermometer, you just need to get one that goes up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Because that's the temperature where the oil is best for frying. So anywhere between 350 and 375 degrees. Once you do that, I can guarantee you're never going to muck up anything that you fry again. So it's got an external probe. You just hold that in the oil and check it. You can clip it over the top of your pan if you like, or you can just stick it in there, and then that Bluetooths to this to let you know when you get there. If you want to see a review on this thermometer, I'll put a video up there. It's an old one, but it explains how good this thermometer is, and I'll also leave a link in the description if you just want to buy one. Alright, now we're up to temperature. It's time to place these in one at a time. Be careful that you don't spill, drop them so that you burn yourself. Spill or drop. Just be careful you don't drop them in there because it's really hot. You don't want to overcrowd the pan so that it drops the temperature down too much. I went a little over temperature, I went to about 380 because I know the second I put these big bombers in, it's going to drop down a bit. Now remember this, these don't need to be cooked long. All you want to do is brown off the breadcrumbs, give them a nice little heat right through to melt the cheese. They're already cooked, they're already edible, you can eat them cold. Without the breadcrumbs on, of course. Keep rotating them around, make sure that you get every little part of the circle on the balls so that they're all nice and crusty. They're literally only going to take about 2 minutes. Once they're cooked, you want to place them on some paper towel just to dry all those oils away from the crumbs. Yeah, look at that. Oh yeah! They're looking about done to me. Alright guys, here comes the moment of truth, the taste test. Let's have a look. Let's pick one. We'll pick this one here. We'll slice down through him. And then we'll open that up. Oh, look at that. Look at that. All that cheese. Oh, it's actually breaking apart in my hand. Let's taste. Wow. Wow. That mozzarella, that chicken flavour, the tomatoes, the spinach. My God. That is just phenomenal. Guys, give this a go. What I want to start doing too is I want you to send me your favourite recipes. I'm going to leave an email down the bottom once a month. I'm going to do a community recipe and I'm going to use one of your recipes and I'll tag you in it. Guys, have a great day. Thanks very much for supporting the channel. Make sure you get your little Aussie spinach patty, Aussie Arancini ball, Aranchi ball. Thanks very much and we'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.